This is a picture of me about a year before I started my YouTube channel. And you can see I know a little bit about under eye bags. Today I'm going to be sharing everything that I'm doing to improve the appearance of my under eye bags. I think it's going to be interesting. Welcome in, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 women. Holy smokes. Under eye bags, that's what we're going to be talking about today, and I'm going to be sharing everything that I have done that I have found makes an impact on under eye bags. If you're new here, welcome in. I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go, and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you want all the good stuff, you might want to sign up for my Sunday morning email newsletter. The link is in the description box down below. Every Sunday morning, I send out a very short, very sweet, very free email newsletter featuring all the cool things I found throughout the week, whether it's a great sale you might have missed or a good piece of information, a recipe that I couldn't pass up, anything that I would share with you if we were out together having coffee. That's what goes in the Sunday morning email newsletter. It's super easy to sign up. You just click the link down below. Super free, super fun. I think you're going to love it. Again, here is a picture of me about a year before I started my YouTube channel. And you can see I definitely had some baggage underneath my eyes. I had puffy under eyes and they're very, very crinkly and wrinkly. I'm going to be sharing with you everything that I have done that I have found works for under eye bags. And I'm also going to kind of pop in and tell you what I haven't found that's been effective. Keep in mind when you're looking at this picture is that I am 5 years older today than I was here. So definitely I have found a few tips and tricks that have really helped to soften the puffiness of my under eyes as well as soften the wrinkles underneath there. First, I want to start with what hasn't worked for me. I have not found a single serum, a single under eye patch, a single cream, a single magic formula, anything that has to do with applying stuff to skincare that really has done much to address the puffiness. Now, clearly, the under eye area on my face is a little smoother now, a little fewer wrinkles, a little bit softer than it was back then. That has to do with skincare and my at-home devices. But what I can tell you, the most important thing that I have done to improve my under eye bags is improve my diet. And I'm not kidding you guys, that has had such a tremendous difference. Now, before you start in with, oh my gosh, here she is, little Miss Health Food Nut, I want to let you know, no, I was not a health food nut at all. As a matter of fact, I was one of those people that would eye roll, when the person would start talking about healthy foods, like I'm staring at them eating Dorito chips. I just didn't have any patience for it. I was absolutely obnoxious. But today, I am so very careful and cautious and deliberate about what I eat. Why? Because I did some research. And here's what happens. The minute you find one piece of information that leads you to the next piece of information that leads you to the next piece of information, and before I knew it, I was just overwhelmed with so much evidence about how toxic our food supply is and our environment. I really don't know what our agencies are doing to keep us healthy because it's not working. All you have to do is look around at Americans, at least if you're in the US. Maybe you see Americans in the country you're in, but you can tell just visually, anecdotally, we are not a healthy population. And that has to do with our food supply and all the toxicities that we encounter during the day. One of the most important things that I have done that has impacted not only my under eye bags, but that little pooch around my stomach and just my body overall is to really eliminate inflammatory foods. Now, what are inflammatory foods? There's a whole list of them, but I'll call out the ones that are really, really high on the list. Number one, and in my mind, the disease master of our entire culture is seed oils. What are seed oils? Like safflower oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, which there's no canola plant, that's a made-up name. Seed oils are so highly inflammatory. They have been found to cause untold havoc to the human body. Why? Because it's not actually a food. Seed oils were a lubricant for machinery, and then somebody realized they could process it, hyper process it down, and make it kind of edible for humans and really make a big profit on it. The fact is that we really can't use it in our diets, and it's causing tons of damage, not only with our bodies visually seeing us puffy, overweight, fluffy. A lot of that is inflammation. They're looking at cognitive decline, depression, issues like joint pain. There's so many things that are really being created from the consumption of seed oils. The reason why avoiding inflammatory foods is so important when you're trying to reduce under eye puffiness is that it shows up in water retention. We've been told for decades that it's salt in our diet. It's not salt in our diet. I eat a ton of salt. I don't have inflammation. It is the inflammatory foods. Seed oils is at the top of the list. Alcohol can also do it. I don't drink alcohol. Sugar can also do it. Anything with tons of preservatives and highly processed foods are really going to create inflammation in your body. What happens is that fluid builds up around your body. Your ankles get puffy, your fingers get puffy, your under eyes get puffy. It just is not a good look. And if we look around today, so many people that we think need to lose a few pounds actually are just inflamed from their diets. Now, this picture was taken, again, about a year before I started my channel. And lucky for me, I ran into someone who I talked to about my weight. They said, "You're not fat. You're inflamed and you have leaky gut syndrome. Take Restore and eat organic." Well, Restore is the old name for Ion Biome. So I started taking Ion Biome. It created a tremendous change in my body and really, really lessened my under eye bags. This has been kind of my secret weapon for the inflammation in my body. I still take it today. And here's the funny thing is that when I started using it, I used it for about a year, and then I ran out, and it was at the start of the whole kerfluffle thing, and I just didn't reorder it. Well, it took about 4 or 5 weeks before, boy, I could sure tell it throughout my body. Why? Because we have so much toxicity in our environment, and our body responds to that by becoming inflamed. So this has really been a little secret weapon for me. And it's funny that I had someone comment on one of my videos recently that she said, "I was taking it. I didn't really think I noticed anything, so I quit. Within a few weeks, I had love handles and just a big pooch." And I said the same thing happened to me, only it shows up for me underneath my eyes and on the pooch in my stomach. So this definitely has been a secret weapon for me. It really, really does cut down on inflammation. Now, is this going to work if you're continuing to eat seed oils, drink a lot of alcohol, eat highly processed foods, sugars, that sort of thing? Probably not. It's probably not really going to do that much good, because if you can't support your body in a good way, this is going to really struggle to keep up. It will improve your gut health, but it's not going to do a whole lot for that visible inflammation on your body. Another thing that we can do to cut down on the inflammation is move our bodies more. We become kind of sedentary, and maybe more so as we've gotten a little bit older. But what happens is that lymph system, which is what is underneath our eyes and around our eyes, doesn't have a pump. So what happens when we don't move is that lymph system gets backed up and clogged up and retains a lot of fluid, particularly around our face area. So movement really does help with the lymph system. That's why there's that saying, walk the dog every day, regardless of whether you have one or not, because it's that walking that really kind of jiggles our lymph system and gets it flowing. Now, does schlumpy walking work? And I'll tell you what, I am an expert at schlumpy walking. I can schlump better than most people. What I do to get my lymph system really working is I have a brisk walk. That pounding of my feet on the pavement, the movement of my body, that's going to click that lymph system into action and really help to flush out a lot of the toxins. If you have a rebounder, that's a great way to get your lymph system really working. You're going to notice if you do that really regularly over, let's say, even a week, you're going to find that you have less puffiness underneath your eyes because your lymph system is moving along and clipping along in a really good way. So anything that you can do to get your body moving not only is going to improve your overall health, but it's really going to help with that puffiness that we have that shows up underneath our eyes. So we've talked about diet, getting the inflammatory foods out of our diet. We've also talked about moving our bodies so our lymph system becomes more active and drains better. Another thing that you can do with your lymph system that is so very handy is actually manually stimulated. You can do facial massage, and I always start with my neck area down here because I want to kind of create a vacuum or a suction when I move up into my face. So I'll always start with my lymphatic massage down in my neck area so it gets moving, and then as I move up into my face, it has room to move that fluids down. If you don't really like rubbing your face, or if you want a little bit of assistance doing that, you can use a gua sha stone. If you don't have one of these gua sha stones, you really should get one. You can get them off of Amazon just for a few dollars. I'll have everything I talk about today that's purchasable linked in the description box down below. But this gua sha stone is going to do wonderful things for your face. First of all, it feels so doggone good, and it's really going to help that lymph system move through and get all those toxins out of your face. So I use oil on my face. You can use any kind of oil that you like. You can use olive oil, you can use coconut oil, you can use an oil that you have in your skincare collection, whatever works for you. And then I just start moving very gently all around my face, making sure that I not only address the upper eyelid area on that orbital bone, but I get inside here and really gently move all those fluids out and down. It really does feel so good. If you do it regularly for a couple of weeks, you're going to be surprised at how much better your face looks. It's going to be less puffy, less swollen, just looks a lot tighter and a lot better and fresher. If you own the Nebulyft, this is a great way to stimulate your lymph system. You don't need to go out and buy this if you don't have one. Just for those of you who have one, what I do when I'm using my Nebulyft is I really work it around those areas. So not only am I treating the firmness of my skin with the radio frequency, but I'm stimulating my lymph system as well. So I really focus on the under eye area, the orbital bone area, to really clean out my lymph system there, so it really does smooth out my under eye areas and make my upper eyelids a little less puffy and hooded. So this is a great way to get a lymphatic drainage massage while you're doing a skincare treatment. So this one's a good one if you've got one. Again, you don't need to go out and get one if you don't have one, but if you have one, go ahead and use it for double duty. Now, have serums and devices worked for my under eyes? They certainly have worked to smooth out the wrinkles. And you can tell the difference in my skin between that picture from 5 years ago to today. Actually, that picture was closer to 6 years ago. So I am 6 years older now. I haven't had anything done in office. No fillers, no Botox, no under eye lift, none of that. Everything that I have done has been at home skincare and devices, improving my diet and improving my health by getting fitter and moving my body. One thing to keep in mind is that if you want to get surgery, that's definitely an option. I've had a couple girlfriends do that. They look great. If it's not something that you want to do, what I can tell you based on my experience is I've had really, really good results just implementing lifestyle changes, eating and movement, doing lymphatic drainage, taking the ion biome, which does work miracles for inflammation in the body and is really, really good for your health. One thing I can tell you about all the products that I work with, and I have a pretty good regimen of products that I use and love, this is the one that I get the most comments on. Like, oh my gosh, I'd had stomach problems for 10 years. 2 weeks after taking that, it was all cleared up. I get more stories like that about this product than any other product that I work with. Now, for some people, they say it doesn't do anything, but like that gal who messaged me on a comment, she said, I didn't think it was doing anything, but lo and behold, if you think it's doing nothing, quit and see what happens. For her, she ended up getting that pooch around the stomach and love handles. I get the pooch around my stomach too. The bottom line is that when we're addressing under eye bags, what we're mostly looking at is inflammation in the body. Now, you can improve that skin texture and tone and soften the wrinkles, but the big improvement in my mind is actually getting the inflammation out of your body. And that's going to be number one, diet. Number two, take a good supplement that works to really help with inflammation. Number three, get your body moving so your lymph system gets engaged and cleans itself out. You can assist your lymph system either with manual massage, using a gua sha stone, or if you have the Nebulyft at home, you can use that as well. For me, I'm pretty doggone pleased with the results of my skincare journey for my under eye bags. I think it's a huge improvement, and the fact that I'm 6 years older now just really shows me that getting healthier really does make a difference. Those are all my tips and tricks for improving under eye bags on more mature skin. I hope you found this video fun, useful, and helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You guys know it just makes my day when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.